Warning: MPU's Voice for the People does not claim any guarantee on some of these tips. Please consult a wildlife expert before trying any of these. This is MPU's Voice for the People. I'm coming at you. And I'm now going to be sharing about the top 10 boondocking etiquette rules. I saw a couple who actually gave a lot of good information, and I'll give a shout out to them. I forgot their names, but the channel is called Liz Amazing. Very informative. They know what they're doing, and also they give a lot of good information. But however, I'm a boondocker. I'm a full-time boondocker, which means all my water and my electricity I provide. Okay, we're going to go over the top 10 etiquette rules of boondocking. This pertains to people that are single, dating, also people who are married. It depends. There's all kinds of things that people don't know. There's a lot of different issues that take place that people never consider. So, let's get started. Number 10. If you knock on a door of somebody's camper or van, you need to announce out loud who you are and that you're not the police. A lot of times boondocking, we have to deal with cops or parking in places where we didn't know that we're not allowed to park there and sleep. There's always some issue like that. Always announce that you're not who you are, and then say I'm not the police. That way the person doesn't wake up paranoid. Also, acknowledge you're a person. That brings me into number 9. If you approach someone's camper in the middle of the night, number 9. Always acknowledge that you're a person if you're approaching near their camper or rig in the middle of the night. See, boondocking, a lot of times we got to deal with wild animals. Not everybody has those super nice RVs. Some people have third-rate ones that are decades old. Mine is Sitting Bull. It was made back in the 90s. So Sitting Bull, he's very old. And, I always get paranoid about something ripping off the door to Sitting Bull and coming inside and eating me alive. Which is why also I'm very paranoid. Not because I want to, but it's out of necessity. I sleep with hunting knives the size of my that are as long as my forearms next to my bed when I sleep at night. That's for peace of mind. Really, that's number 9. Number 8. Always have a garbage bag when disposing of your pee bottles whenever you leave. Here's the thing. When you boondock a lot, there's a lot of places that it's not safe to go outside and take a piss in the middle of the night. And a lot of times, a lot of people have broken campers where the toilets don't work, so they rely on public bathrooms. Well, in the middle of the night, you can't just get up and go outside and relieve yourself. So you got to pee in a bottle, or you got to pee in, whatever it is. But when you do get rid of it, make sure you lock it inside a garbage bag and seal that sucker tight. Nobody wants to look at that. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to have to deal with it. And make sure you find it in an obscure dumpster somewhere where nobody can see you get rid of it. Number 7. Let's see. Always. When you cook food, make sure that whatever you cook does not stay in there. Napkins, plastic silverware, canned food. These are the empty cans that had food in them. These things cannot stay in your camper. They have to go. They're nasty. Also, the smell of them attracts animals, and we really don't need that. Rats are another thing that rats can smell it, and will try and eat their way through the wall. Rats are omnivores. Your average rat can chew through a steel drain pipe. Bear that in mind. That if you think rats can't get into your camper, a rat can get into your camper quicker than a bear could. But a bear could easily has the patience and the ferocity to shake that sucker until that door opens. These are things you have to consider. Number 6. Always keep a supply of ammonia on you and let people nearby know when you're going to spray the outside of your area with ammonia. Ammonia with cayenne pepper or with curry powder in it keeps bears away. The smell is intolerable, is unbearable. You put cayenne pepper or curry powder in it, the smell is I have a spray bottle with ammonia in it that I put ammonia and I put cayenne pepper and I put curry powder in it. Does it stink? Yes, it does. It's a pretty foul stench, and I can promise you this much: I'm human and I can't stand it. So, yeah, that's another one you want to consider. Number 5. Also, always ask permission if you're going to sit there and spray down an area where there's another camper or another boondocker nearby. If you're going to spray the area with lemon juice, they may not like it. They may not want you to do that. They may have their own way of keeping animals away. But lemon juice is a great way of keeping bobcats and mountain lions away because they can't stand the smell of citrus. Just make sure you ask. Sometimes you may run into people that are a lot different. You know. Number 4, make sure that when you're approaching a camper, that the person who lives inside does not have a loaded gun inside their camper, or make sure you get to know the boondockers nearby. Always talk to them. A lot of people out of necessity do own guns. 90% of our full-time RVers and boondockers, they're armed to the teeth. They have to be. They're paranoid about wild animals. They don't want to get eaten. They don't want to sit. That's a very rocky situation. In northern Colorado, there was an RV couple that had a bear tore into their camper. Unfortunately, the wife got maimed pretty bad, and her leg had to be amputated. The bear had to be tracked down and shot. So that's another thing that you have to consider. That there's a lot of paranoid RVers out there. Make sure you proceed with caution, and you actually know people, and you get to know people very well, and you know what their schedule is, or what they're like after they hunker down for the night. Because you approach them in the middle of the night, they'll pull and start shooting, and you don't want that. Number 3. Do not at all be offended if somebody needs to borrow electricity off of you. Not every full-time RVer has in abundance or access to electricity. Some people are living check to check or hand to mouth, so which means they have to wait to get a portable generator, or they just don't have immediate access to it. Once in a while, they might turn to you to brew a cup of coffee or cook in a hot plate so they can cook some breakfast. Don't be surprised, but always never be stingy with your electricity. You're gonna run into that quite a bit. Hey, we're all in this fight together. We all got into this so we could live free, and not have to be tied down to sticks and bricks and to be miserable. We also choose the boondock because we don't want to pay for an RV park. They're a lot of money. Yeah, anyway, number 2, do not take a shit inside the camper. Don't go number 2 inside of it. Most boondockers make the sound mind choice to go to civilization, go into a public bathroom, use the toilet, and that's about it. 90% of boondockers poop inside a public area where there's a public bathroom. They prefer it. It's a lot easier. It's a lot less stress. And this is America. There's tons and tons and tons of places to relieve yourself. So you really don't have to do that. You keep doing that too often, the stink and the smell will be abundant, and nobody will want to go near you. Number 1, da-da-da-da-da. All right. Never, ever, 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 ever fuck up another boondocker's relationship. This is a very lonely lifestyle. Finding a good woman that's willing to date you when you live this lifestyle is hard. So when you find somebody like that, it's getting them to stick by you at all is damn near impossible. So the best possible thing you could do is be friendly, be nice, but Don't ask too many questions about a person's girlfriend, or don't sit there and get too nosy. Try not to be too buddy. You know, I was in a relationship, and the boondocker next door to me did just that. He was a part of the reason why the relationship ended. And he doesn't even know it. But that's a big no-no. You know, I'm not going to sit there and cross that line, but there are places in the country where you can sit there and do that, and another boondocker will beat the shit out of you, and they don't care, and they'll get away with it because they're in the middle. There's a lot of places where you boondock, and you're in the middle of nowhere. There's no civilization around at all. Also, don't ruin their happiness. Finding somebody willing to stick by you no matter what's hard. It's lonely. Nobody wants to grow old alone. So, you know, and also it's a super uncool thing to do. It's horrible. Taking away anybody's happiness is one of the worst things you could possibly do, and it's a good way to get shunned by the RV community as a whole. You're known as a homewrecker, or it's they call them peace destroyers, a destroyer of the peace. And there's a certain level of peace where we all kind of coexist, and we all kind of stick by each other, so where that's not an issue. But the minute you do that, you're basically asking for it. There's some places in America where if you're a boondocker, you do that, other boondockers will beat the crap out of you. I mean, they will. They will beat the living crap out of you. Bad. And if that ever happens to you because you screwed up someone's relationship, the best thing I could tell you is take it like a champ. If they didn't break anything, don't go to the hospital. Just get out your first aid kit, put some ice on it, put a cold rag on it, cut the bruises, lick your wounds, and learn from it. And don't do it again. So there you have it. The top 10 rules. Top 10 rules of etiquette for boondocking. This is NPU's Voice for the People. Aho.